Hey YouTube chapstick, welcome to the Crazy Troll Nation. I'm not even going to do the intro today. We are just going to basically just jump in. No base face. I am just tired. I did do my brows though. I wanted to see how this looked on the lid, so I'm going to do this today. This shade here, this one, and this one, and maybe this one. And that will have placed it where I've used every shade in this palette at least twice, some shades 3 times. I'm going to go ahead and prime my eye with the eyeshadow primer, Fenty of course, blend it out with this of course, this shade on the inner portion of the lid. And this is a Fenty 230 brush. I will say also, it does make a difference using the sponge tip applicators because I did not get any fallout when I used those applicators. And watching other videos, they were having fallout. It didn't work well even using their finger. And I'm thinking sponge tip is the way to go unless you want to wet your brush. And I don't know if that would even make a difference. But this I'm using a brush because I'm putting it directly over the primer, which is a tacky primer. I forgot to mention that, and someone else said in their video, and I'm like, why didn't I say that? I'm just not good at doing palette review stuff because I'm not used to it. This here and this one do seem to be the more chunky shimmers, but not super chunky like the Celestial Shades and Pat McGrath's palette. These two are very smooth, and this one is very smooth as well. So I just wanted to point that out, that the textures in these palettes amongst the 5 shimmers that are in this palette, they are not all created equal. And that was interesting to me. And I know other brands do, different formulas in their palettes as well. So it's not that it's anything bad. It was just an observation. And I observed it too, but because I was using the sponge tip applicator, it really didn't matter because the shades went on smooth with the applicator. This one I do feel chunks on my face using this shade with a brush. Not a problem though, because I have nothing on my face and so it'll just roll off. We're going to go into this one and put this on the outer half of the lid. We're going to take this over. I'm going to take that first brush that had that first shade on it and sweep that over to blend it. Oh, that looks nice. As I usually say at this point, this could be your look. I'm just saying. This is a Makeup Forever 234 brush, and we're going to go into this shade here, and that's going to go on our inner corner. And I should have did this first. This is one of the smooth shimmers. When I used this as a brow bone highlight, I think it was the first look, this showed up like really gold, like just as gold shimmer. And I remember it because I was saying, to me this looks peachy, and so to have a gold shimmer as a brow bone highlight, it took me off guard. I'm gonna take the brush that had that first shade, that yellow, and we're just going to overlap. So the inner corner shade didn't do much for this look. So again, just things to consider. Are you going to get use out of these shades, out of all the shades? We're going to take a Scott Barnes number 62 brush, and we're going to go into this shade here as our transition shade. I have no idea what this is going to look like, and this is why I wanted to use it again, to see how it looked paired with other shades. You know what we'll do? We'll call this an experiment. This is the bedtime story experiment because this palette is taking a nap after this look for a while. I like the tone of this shade. With this look, I'm just like, I'm not sure. I still like it better than my first 2 looks though. We're going to take a clean Scott Barnes number 62, and we're going to take this shade here. I know my thumb is pointing somewhere else. This shade here, and that's also going to go in our transition area. So this one over that mustard is not showing up. It's not doing anything. If anything, it's just toning it down, and it may be because this is a pastel type shade. So this is blending out that purple shimmer. And I typically don't use a shade to blend out another shade, even though that seems to be how the palette is structured, because these are just lighter tones of down here. And I know a lot of people do use a shade to blend out another shade. I typically don't. We're going to go back in with this one for our inner transition area, just right here. And I do see, I don't want to say the importance, but the value of having a black base under some of these shimmers. And if you want a softer look, number 4 and 5 is definitely it. If you're wanting more impact, do 4 and 5, but put down a darker shade underneath it. This I like a little bit better, even though this one is looking ashy again like it was before. This is just so strange to me. I need to figure out what I did that I liked how it looked the other day. We're going to go back with this one in our the second half of our lid. This is really interesting. I know I've said it before in my Nomad videos, like their shadows just surprise me every time I use them as if I haven't used them before. Even like this is surprising me, and I've used all of these shades before. So I don't know what to even say. And that's part of the fun, because it's like I just don't know that brush with that yellow, like what something's going to do that day. And I don't know if it's how I pair it. I don't know if it's the brush I used. I'm not liking how blank this looks, because this transition shade is just looking dusty again. I'm liking how this transition shade looks over that first lid shade. The inner corner shade didn't show up. So I am still torn. And so I don't even know what to tell you anything other than what I already told you before. We're going to take 2 Makeup Forever brushes, 210. One, we're going to put this center shade. Actually, we're going to take this one just to see if to see what it looks like on its own and not over top of that first lid shade. Now that's how that looks. Now look at this. That's this shade. That is this shade. And look how it looks on its own. And it makes sense that it wouldn't show up over top of this one because it's showing up gold. We're going to take a clean one and we're going to go in with, I'm always sticking my fingers and stuff accidentally. Ow, glad I didn't hit myself in the face. This shade. Oh, I got a fleck in my eye. And we're going to just put this here. So you've seen from me some looks, 4 and 5 I really liked. You saw a club look. So you have lots of options, or even looks I did that you didn't like. Think about, if you get this palette or dupe out the shades, think about how you'll tweak it into something that you do like. So that's something too. So you don't have to think, oh, I'm going to recreate that look. Just tweak it how you want it to be. We're going to take this brush, this shade, because it's not a shade on me, and buff out the lower lash line. This is just so funny to me that this shade is really a non-color, and I don't know if you saw that puff. Let's see if it does it on this side. Yeah, it puffs up. So the shades are powdery, but the pan isn't messy. Around this one and this one, and when I used this one the other day, there was some mess around the pan. But the mattes, the ones that are powdery, you know, before you even can see it, it just kind of blows away. So it's not a problem for me. We're going to take, do I even want to do upper lash line? Like, I'm like, do I want to do a complete look when my face is not even done? Troll Nation, baby. We're going to take fluid line, dip down as a brown. We're going to put a brown NYX retractable eyeliner on our inner rims just at the bottom. I'm going to edit this part out. Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Mascara. I'm going to edit this out. The lipstick that I pulled out at random. MAC lipstick in, oh, Ruby Woo. Y'all, don't pull out lipsticks at random. This ain't got nothing to do. It smells nice. This ain't got nothing to do with this eye look, but we pulled it out. We're gonna use it. Cause that's what we do here. We just be doing stuff. This feels dry. What finish is this? Retro matte lipstick. That's why. The one I used yesterday was smooth. I love me a matte liquid lip. But the bullets, this thing is dry. I need to check how long I had it. I think it came free with something because I know I didn't buy it. It says I opened it May this year. Today is July 11th. And so rosé, we're going to top this off. This, oh, I look crazy. But y'all know I am crazy. I'm just going to tap it so it doesn't pick up the lipstick. I like what it did to the color of the lipstick. So just this, because I was just like, this is not my color. But I like what rosé did to it. Not with the eye look though. Definitely not with the eye look. So this is what we have today. If you've been with me through all of these videos, thank you so much. And thank you for your comments. And yeah, I'm still torn. What I said yesterday still stands. So this is this look from today. Thank you for watching. Hang tight. Watch what's going to pop up in the end cap, which one of them, the playlist will be my Nomad playlist. And there are some links below, and my link tree is below with some other stuff in it. And so you will see me soon. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, this palette is taking a nap, like for sure. So thank you again. And you will see me soon now with this palette. We tired. We tired. And we having leg cramps and migraines. We tired. I'm babbling. I'm going to go.